Welcome back to our April 2024 United States presidential election analysis. It is election day 2024. Today we're looking at our April prediction being April 1st, April Fool's Day. Let's see if this is going to be an April uh, either if Donald Trump will get an April Fool's joke or Joe Biden. Whoever's going to lose is probably going to bear the April Fool's fate. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pull up our poll times if you guys do not mind. More poll closing times, and I get this is 2022, but who knows? It could be similar to the polling times could be similar to the closing times this year. So we're gonna go ahead. It's 6:00 p.m. right now, and we're gonna take a look at states in Kentucky and Indiana. Indiana has closed their polls, and that state has been called for Donald J. Trump. Most of Kentucky has closed their polls. That state is most likely going to go for Donald Trump. We can call that for Donald Trump. The state of Kentucky today goes to Donald Trump, 19 electoral votes. We take a look here. We're now at 6:00. We're getting half of Kentucky's going through 7 p.m. here. We have on the 7th hour, we can call the state of Vermont for Joe Biden, as well as the state of South Carolina. That also is going to go for Donald Trump. 28 electoral votes. Most of Kentucky has closed their polls. And so too Indiana and Chicagoland. They're in the process of closing. Georgia has closed their polls. It is too close to call. Florida has closed their polls, and it's also too close to call. So Virginia, believe it or not, is too close to call. So nothing much going on the 7th hour, but at 7:30, we're going to get poll closings in West Virginia. West Virginia going for Donald Trump. That is 4 electoral votes right there for the former president. Looking at Ohio, too close to call. North Carolina, also too close to call. 8 p.m., we get a whole bucket load of states closing. We have Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, and Maryland, along with the District of Columbia, going for Joe Biden at the 8th hour. 8th hour, most of New England, I would say Maine, New Hampshire, they are too close to call. We can call the 1st District of Maine for Joe Biden. So that is going for the President of the United States. Let's take a look at I will tell you, Indiana. No, well, I meant Alabama, Tennessee, Mississippi, along with we'll call those states for now. For Donald Trump, it's a battle in the 50s. The state of Illinois will be called this hour. We take a look at the state of Missouri. That is going for Donald Trump. Oklahoma, swinging hard for Donald Trump. 75, both candidates. 75 electoral votes. It's a dead tie. Texas, too close to call. Kansas, we are thinking about calling Kansas, and we are considering of doing that. Kansas goes for Donald Trump. Most of South Dakota and North Dakota have closed. North Dakota is swinging hard for Donald Trump. We can call that for the former president. We can now call South Dakota for the former president. Taking a look here, we have Michigan, too close to call. Pennsylvania, also too close to call. We are looking here now. We are now at 8:30 p.m. We can call the state of Arkansas for Donald Trump. Arkansas goes to Donald Trump. 93 electoral votes. It's 9 p.m. We have a whole list of states to call. We have the state of New York going for Donald Trump. We can call, let's see, I'm considering calling the state of Florida for Donald Trump. Donald Trump wins Florida, 123 electoral votes. A state that highly dependent needed to win the election. Ohio going for Donald Trump. North Carolina, too close to call. But we are looking at Wisconsin, too close to call. Minnesota, too close to call. Iowa, too close to call. We have Louisiana, 148 electoral votes. Virginia, too close to call, believe it or not. Georgia is in favor for Donald Trump. But in the end of the day, we can take a look at the final polls before see how it's going. This is our current poll matchup, but let's take a look at Georgia. Georgia is not, here we are. 50% for Donald Trump so far in this race. We are going to take a look at Colorado, going for swinging hard for Joe Biden, along with the state of New Mexico. Arizona, too close to call. We have the state of Wyoming. We can call the 3rd district of Nebraska for the former president of the United States, along with the state of Nebraska. We are in the processes of thinking about calling the 1st district of Nebraska, but we will consider Colorado. Wyoming has been called already. Minnesota, too close to call. We can call this is it the 2nd district? No, the 2nd district. Let's see. Nebraska 3. Nebraska 1. Never mind. So, yes, as expected, Texas too close to call right now. Donald Trump leading by 155. Joe Biden at 118. We can call the state of New Hampshire for Joe Biden at this hour. And, well, actually, no, let's not call it yet. We're going to probably call it at 9. Well, it's already 9. Yeah, it's only been an hour. 10 p.m. We are doing the, I would say, Eastern Cascades. I wouldn't even call them Eastern. I would say the West in a nutshell. But let's see. We're going to call Idaho. Most of the Idahoan population lives down south. Below the antenna, we can call Idaho for Donald J. Trump. Utah and Montana go strong for Donald Trump. Now we are in the process in consideration of calling the state of Texas. And with that, we will also call the state of New Hampshire. So Texas going for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, one of the first to reach 200 electoral votes. Very good sign for the Trump campaign. Joe Biden triumphs in New Jersey. And as well, we can call that Joe Biden has won Maine, but Donald Trump escapes with the 2nd district. We're too close to call in the 2nd congressional district of we see here the 2nd congressional district of Nebraska. But going ahead now, it is 11 p.m. California, Washington, Oregon going hard and aggressive for Joe Biden. Iowa going for Donald Trump in the end of the day. Minnesota, believe it or not, still too close to call. North Carolina and Georgia too close to call. We can call now North Carolina, however. I changed my mind. North Carolina is going to be called for Donald Trump, and along with the state of Georgia. That gives Donald Trump 248 electoral votes. Very optimistic sign for the former president of the United States. We look at Arizona going for Donald Trump, 259. It is 12 a.m. and we can call Alaska and Hawaii. Now, the Biden campaign and their allies have realized the inevitable has come. However, Biden gets away with Virginia and Minnesota. We can officially project Minnesota and Virginia goes to Joe Biden. However, Donald Trump just needs to get away with either Wisconsin, Michigan, or Pennsylvania. He wins the election. Nevada can either go. It doesn't really matter where Nevada goes to. It doesn't really matter where the 2nd District of Nebraska goes to. Donald Trump picks up the 3 Rust Belt states. He will win the election, period. So let's see. We're going to project Donald Trump the winner in the state of Nevada. That gives Donald Trump an advantage up to 268. He will be declared president if he wins 2 more electoral votes. We can call the 2nd District too close to call right now, but we are looking at, we call Nevada, Donald Trump winning by 3 points. We take a look at Arizona. 3 points. Michigan, that is going for Donald Trump, swinging hard, thanks to the auto worker vote and the Muslim vote, who did not show up to vote for Joe Biden in this scenario, and instead either went for Cornel West, the third-party candidate, or just stayed home. So we can call Michigan for Donald Trump, and we can successfully declare Donald Trump the next president of the United States. He will serve a unprecedented 4 years in the United States White House. We are in the process of calling Wisconsin. Wisconsin is too close to call. Pennsylvania. And we are forced to make a decision with no real polls in saying where the 2nd District is going. We're going to call the 2nd District for Donald Trump. We will call Wisconsin for Trump. And Pennsylvania, Joe Biden's state of birth, that's going to go to Donald Trump. And yes, again, it's remaining the same as March, guys. Donald Trump escapes with all the swing states. He is declared president, projected to win 313 electoral votes, according to our April prediction. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you all in the next political episode.